All right, it's later than we thought. I just want to first thank some people, especially the speakers. You all did a great job. I know it's past 4 o'clock. So far, no one has turned to a pumpkin or mice. So trust me, you have at least 5 more minutes before you're in danger of that. I would like to point out that Congresswoman Elizabeth Estes and her husband Dan Estes are here today. I don't know if a special guest. Mayor Frank Cowie from Des Moines, Iowa is also here. Thank you. This event was actually put on by a small group of very dedicated, hardworking individuals. In addition to David Hilendolo, I think Heidi and her team, Heidi, Colin, Amy, can you all stand up? Now, I was supposed to have summarized what has been said, but I don't think I can really do that. In fact, you probably don't want to hear me. So I'll just say a couple things. First, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is not only there's 7 billion people here, well, it depends on who you are. If you're alive, it's good news. It's going to go to 8 billion in 13 years. It's going to go to 9 billion by 2050. It may, and here's the good news, it may peak out by the end of the century. And the population may decline, probably likely to decline, beginning at the end of the century. That's not bad news, because if it continued to climb the way it's been climbing over the last, going from 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 billion, we would be in real trouble. So here's the good news. All we have to do is figure out a path this century, and we got the problem solved. That's all. But we also want those 7 to 8 to 9 to 9.5 billion people to grow and prosper. And so that all the people of the middle class lives we enjoy, it's not that, no. The rest of the people, they have to live in poverty. Nope. They too would aspire to a middle class existence. And is that possible? And the answer is yes. It's absolutely possible. We have the means to do it. We have enough sunlight coming on the earth to do it, by far, 10,000-fold over. We have the technology that's rapidly developing. You just saw glimpses of how much more rapidly the technology has been developing in all sorts of renewables, in energy efficiency, and the cost of these things is dropping far faster than anticipated. The idea of racing to the top, a great idea, rather than drifting to the bottom. That's a great idea. I mean, what those 2 mayors have talked about, what they're doing in their cities, is a lesson. And how do you get the cities and the states to lead, as they always have led the United States? Continue to encourage them to take that leadership role, and the federal government follows behind. Not so bad, but this is what it's about. And we can go and get all this stuff. And it's prosperity, it's jobs, it's everything. It's a false choice to say, develop clean energy or stall the economy. Which do you want? Completely false choice. In fact, they're so aligned, it's so clear to all of us who've been thinking about this the last dozen years that this is the new thing. This is the new industrial revolution. The old industrial revolution gave us energy beyond its wildest dreams. So we can flick on a light, the daylight at night, flick on another switch, 1 or 2 horses come out of the wall, go down a wire, and clean a carpet. Turn the ignition of a car 100 to 200, and you should kind of look down the ground if you have 300 of those horses. But hundreds of horses will take you to the market. And you can fly across the continent, those big, wide-body planes, 100,000 horses. Okay? This is good stuff, but we can develop this in a much cleaner way, and we've got to develop, and we will develop in a much cleaner way, but the countries that develop this are the countries that will gain also economically. You know, and as Michael Liebert said, are we going to be buyers or are we going to have some leadership here? And so for the next 4 years, Heidi was saying, okay, let's lay out the next 4 years. I would like to the next 4 years, the next 8 years, the next 20 years, where there's a huge possibility of all those things. How do you get the private sector? There's many tens of billions of dollars in the private sector sitting on the sidelines not knowing what to do. You invest in treasury notes, very safe, but you know, 1%, 1.5%. You go in a stock market, wobbles up and down, we don't know. You go to a bond market, wobbles up and down. There are all sorts of energy investments where we think with a very small tweaking of some tax code would enable you to get 5, 6, 7%, very, very safe return, okay? And also, you're going to feel good about doing this so that you can invest in these projects that would drive our economy and drive job growth. Now, when the science guy, I guess, was talking about, he was reminding me of Dick Smalley, Richard Smalley, way back when. And what was nice about Smalley was not that he invented the carbon tubes and envisioned these carbon fibers, which, by the way, were discovered a couple of years later, these nanotubes. But what actually happened was shortly after he made his discovery, got his Nobel Prize, he started talking about the importance of energy, climate change, all these other things. And a little bit after that, maybe year 2000 or 98 or 2000, I started talking about it. I got a really nice email from him. By that time, I think he was ill, and he said, "Steve, this is great. You're now talking a lot about energy and climate change. We just need more of people like you and I to raise this and talk about it, because it's an opportunity as well as a challenge." So anyway, thank you all for coming. The work is ahead of you. It's a lot of good news, lots of hope. Get moving. Don't stop. Don't sit here, listen to me, and it's past 4. Thank you very much.